Off day, Guam. Thank you so much for, the polls haven't closed yet, but thank you so much for writing in Jonathan Diaz as an independent, non-voting delegate to the U.S. on doors, so canvas meetings. And when we are and they refuse, especially if vaccinated, you know, part of the issue is a cool light, deathly dying of COVID-19, you know, and we still are long COVID, hand, foot, and mouth disease. No, to the emergency room, there was no room in the emergency room. Responded, others didn't, you know, and I was expecting better. It's because I'm a public figure, and it is a public service, right? So media has a fiduciary responsibility in print to do a public service. Very precarious for independence because we take no sides. Because you're going to have, after the elections, you're going to have feuding between usually, then when the new elections came in 2018, right, lobbying for the Guam ethic, not going 4 years to get the rules and regulations, nor such inconvenience. The inconvenient truth is that you're irresponsible. And I'm talking specifically to these electoral candidates, right? So you and the majority, or, and it's so important to still on a, so we're not in for that. No, unless you withdraw, because we have lifted certain restrictions. Going in and still using that. We social media. I have the home test kit, test negative, but it's like, oh, you're gonna take his word for it, as opposed to, so you have we have to address this as an educated community, like kind of like a drive-through fast food. So it takes me loving myself and loving you more, even that, because I'm not registered, I didn't go out to vote. For the non-voting delegate position on the island of Guam, it is a U.S. federal position, and U.S. Congress did not pass. I didn't see any news when it first started in early voting, right, at a private venue, right? This is a private, really, till security could withdraw, address there, right? When it comes to early voting, you can early vote Congress. Congress decides while these elections are to take place. So there's some these things, so there's supermajority. They own Congress, the White House, right? The administration. What about is a of the entirety of, that means the House and the Senate did not respect. The Democratic Party of Guam did not respect. When it passed, those early of Guam did not respect. When it faced in certain jurisdictions, if there's only half for voting, early voting. As a matter of fact, I believe they had it since 20. Those 9,700 are thrown out. It's only supposed to be, and that's technically right. But some states is like today is the day. I don't know because they changed the law. And I'm not here to interpret the law. It used to be first, and then they pushed back the budget. So September 30th is late, right? And the Federal Election Commission, or important to give them that information, like private venue for early voting. Should submit something to the FBI and CIA, where I screenshot. I took it upon myself. I'm going to point third at it, difficult. It becomes third degree misdemeanor, and then now it reads third degree felony. See, so if you're gonna go pro long code annotated in 19, they printed out all because we're still to address is, dealing with a 501c3 versus, and then 290s with today, what is technologically online. So things get manipulated real quickly. And so it becomes very, I really have become that non and racism. I really have become that much more of a non-human to all of you because of your prejudice, stereotypes, and racism. That's all I am to you. Whatever you're going to call me and label me. And that is a great injustice because, I haven't always wanted to go to court. That's why I joined a teacher. You should work on your career. I have been. In 2008, whenever, including CBEST, my results for CBEST, as an assistant superintendent, but it used actual department that's gonna, so it needs to be certified. So there was a lot of conflict, so it needs to be certified. So there was a lot of conflict of interest. There was a lot of favoritism that was going on of who's going to teach and who's not going to teach. This is like that. We didn't have that until 2011. The rules and regulations, totally separate from the actual institute, right? So not until 2011 is when we had the actual rules and regulations as to what kind of test, how, what are we going to, and even praxis is political. And it should be much more broad to encompass all of Region 9. And when I say Region 9, that includes Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, did I say California? California, and, put that, right? Guam, self-determination, and not so much Chamorro. So interpret laws or Medicare, especially Medicare Part, I don't know if they have Part C here or Part, I know they are given. So currently what we have on the citizens only, right? Who incrimination is, you could nation on your own, and they had several different things in the ballot. For example, California had that, Texas had that in recent years. And so this is, again, part of the education of it's not there as an official candidate, but you're looking at the entire breadth of the pursuit of political self-determination. So to understand that requires you to really take a look at how we got to this place. Why is it then that, we have, let's say, the 1964 Civil Rights Bill, right, that's in circulation and, upheld, racists are still racist. They are still prejudicial. They are still stereotypical. And all of that reduces a human being, and that's of your laws. But yet here I am with absolutely zero net negative your credit rating. And that's only by an individual. We're not talking about, the entire community, your family is there. No. Exclude those kinds of things. You have to treat me as an individual. You don't how dare you? Like who are you to tell me, right, that I'm supposed to go and take care of my mom? My mom is quite honestly fine. But see, you never have a relationship with us. You only think what's best. And that is the great injustice. And those individuals who are still getting paid, and then me being placed almost as a kind of thing to defraud the U.S. government. And I'm gonna stop it. Case in point, we have I have several open cases against this administration, against this, and why do we do that? We have to do that because there's been a lot. You want taxes to, you want Medicaid to be totally taken away, and that for these individuals who are taking it right now. This is the power of what you anyway 4.1. And I'm not going to go to A, B, or C, or D. That's for you to do your job. Gave it to the Ethics Commission since June 22nd, 2022. And then you retired this guy. I mean, this is the biggest thing. You've been allowing this guy who's supposed to have a third degree misdemeanor or felony for free school lunch. You just manipulated me. I never knew about this. And every single year, answer this question in the book, in the 34th Guam legislation. So the issue becomes, one of taking a look at what you've done. One of taking a look at what you've done. You've manipulated your job as a teacher to say, we never made up FESPAC days on Guam that school year. What is the equivalency of 180 in straight? Ever been terminated from, or for just be honest, 2017, right? To wait until 2031 on that, I'm going to default on my student loans. I default if it's not extended. I will responsibility as an official public employee of the government of Guam to safeguard me, a government employee here on Guam. So for 14 years, I want people to understand I should have gotten food stamp, defraud the federal government. I should have defrauded the government one. For any job, you, Guam. That's on you, Guam Ethics Commission. Leave and come on. That's on you, buyer. I was to get food stamps. And I said, no, we're going to do an open case. What you've done in your U.S. Congress voting delegate was individuals there. And they didn't. Now you are Chamorros, Guam, and Guam leaders, and the descendants of your fathers and mothers. And you didn't do anything to protect us. We wish you well. That's all you can say. We wish you well. Other side of the Chamorro political self-determination, frustration. Part of going into the whole thing, so and uphold the, Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act, especially when the church is involved and a brother is working at the actual health insurance company. Of my, priest pedophile now, because they ordained him. He's in college. I'm still in middle school. Under the age of majority. You're going to think it's experimentation. And that's the kind of stuff that I want to make sure that you understand full well. And then you give him the position of commissioner of the Government Liabilities Commission law and circulation and enforcement. It says no money shall be given to a TETSA. Yeah, you still have them in the commission tomorrow. Then you have priests, and it says in the Bill of Rights, no money supposed to be given to a priest, the sect, church, mission. And you put them in the commission. So I want to make sure the ramifications will cost taken. Prize food stamps will be taken away in Section 8, and you're making a public land grant institution into a private institution and then barring people from the right to assembly and the right to free speech. I would know they take away the 501c3 because the church is still selling candles, religious goods, books, statues. The 501c3 is not for profit. $10, 15 pesos. That's what I saw and took a picture of at Santa Barbara Church and da-da-da. That's for profit. And a lot of it is your own, the people are going to guide. You know, there's supposed to be 21 Guam legislature senators, even after 1950, peaceful, nonviolent resistance. Okay? So I want to make sure that my name's not dragged there. These are at, because we don't even know the name of the street. Oh, don't worry, just see it when you get down there. Tell the people who owns that. Yeah, who owns that land? Tell the people who owns that land. It used to be a car sale after World War II. Told it because you made them sign. Oh, don't worry, we're going to protect the justice there of our people being manipulated right at 50, 51. Where's the reparations for that? So those are some issues that you really need to build a right. You know, nobody, you know, unfortunately 9,007, and then, you know, that should give you the stats to say, if I was not tired of the manipulations me to just get elected and then you threw me away. You know, how an instant commission, I was your inspiration for your first statues of liberty, you know, I'm zero. Not by choice. It's not by choice against the US government. Where I was born, I will never do that. It is not by choice. But, you know, you give the, what does that tell the people? You greedy? It's your right? It's your benefit? Admit it. You are, because you have what? Some other interests. Right? Some other interests other than the people. That hurts. So I'm going to leave it at that and just make sure that I'm careful not to hurt your feelings. And if I did hurt your feeling, thank God we're alive to feel it. For we live on an island. Any moment now, we're going to explode nuclear bombs, right? Without even our permission being stored here. We're going to go to war. We're going to blow up any moment now. Breathe the same air with me. One more time. Are we in paradise yet? Keep working for the common good. They never, ever kind of conditions are still prevailing throughout the world now. In so many different, and I really mean make my credit ratings for my dreams. Nobody's going to help me. So I don't want to say goodbye. Have a wonderful day, because even one day definitely have made together a world. But we have to stop war.